Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're gonna roll right on through to part 2. So, for anyone that's missed it, I did a little tour of the first area, Yarnum, and in Bloodborne in the first video. Played for about an hour. There we go. One of the things that pulls this game apart from some of the other Souls series games is, in the Souls games you always kneel to the woman who levels you, but in Bloodborne, as you see there, the woman kneels to you. I don't need, I can bring up my arcane, or my blood tinge a little bit. Let's see if we can bring up, to keep things somewhat even. Well, we'll keep blood tinge down for now. I'm not gonna need the gun as much as I'm gonna need some health. My strength isn't the best, but my skill's pretty good. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. Oh, we can only hope, doll. We can only hope. Okay, go ahead and store those. I know you're supposed to use cold bloods, but I like storing them for my own little purposes. We'll go ahead and keep the items on us, though. That'll end up coming back around to be pretty awesome later. I'll put up the torch. I don't need that. I don't need the Yarnum Hunter gloves. Hunter garb I have is fine. We'll put up our starting gear as well. As I mentioned in the previous video, I like keeping a hold of those things. What the hell did that do? Oh, whoop. Go ahead and... there we go. That's something I do. Haha. Use multiples. We'll use all 6 of those. There we go. Just to make sure everything's hunky-dory. Thinking about what I'm going to use against old Gascon. And I think the cleaver will be a best bet. So we'll go ahead and I'll use 3 bloodstone shards, but hey, that's okay. We can't do anything with the altars or any of that there. Woo! There we go. Because I returned with the hunter badge, we actually have these options open now. So, when you get that hunter's badge down by the pig, like these are obviously something you can start with and kind of work towards to get better armor than the starting armor. But when you get that hunter badge, it allows you to get the saws and the axe and the cane. So if you did want to, switch it up at some point, still early on before you get other cool stuff, those are open from grabbing that badge. Central Yarnum, of course. Also in the previous video, I grabbed Yosefka's blood vial. That is a nifty little item, and as long as Yosefka's still around and that door's still closed, and we'll go over that later on, as long as it's closed, if you use that vial, it's a heal, and it heals for a little while over time. If you use it, you can go back to the clinic, and she will give you more. It is like one of those kind of last resort healing items, because you only get the one. You can only ever carry one on your person, and there's one that drops at essentially the very end of the game, and that's the only other one you can get other than getting it from her, which you can get them from her, I wouldn't say indefinitely, but for a majority of the game you can keep getting them from her if you want to use them. Said that, so we went through his dialogue. Just take this guy out real quick. Nope, we got it, buddy. Gurgle to your heart's content. Take out this guy. And then this man here is one of the wheelchair dudes, which it's every time you take them out, you're gonna get some quicksilver bullets. I don't think, in my years of playing this, I ever had one of them not drop me some bullets. So don't be scared to go take them out. They do pack a punch in those guns, though, so be wary of that. Go ahead and take out this guy. I don't think I'm ready to fight the werewolves just yet, but since we did come through here and grab everything, we're ready to take on the first boss. He's as I say, he's an optional. You don't have to fight him now, but ooh, okay, bigness. I see you. I see you. There we go. Well, he dropped me some change. So, oh, here we go. You might see me fall here. You might not. We're gonna see, everybody. You know what? Just in case, if I feel a little frisky, I might use that blood vial after all. There it is, the cleric beast. There he is, a monstrosity. Alright, being in front of him is not the greatest idea, because he does have a grab move. Well, he, she, whatever it was before it was transformed. Being this is a beast, Saw Cleaver is honestly good for this fight, as well as some fire. Oh, ow. Yep. That hurt. Oh, jeez, yep. There we go. There's that grab I was talking about. Oh. The main thing to remember in this fight is to rally. And there we go. As you can see, it's not the hardest thing. It's a relatively easy boss. Simple fight. You just gotta kind of power through it, keep beating it down. Oh. Overall, it didn't leave me worse for wear. And for the next boss fight, that's the real boss fight, I'll probably get taken down on that. Not gonna lie, it'll be a not so fun time. That fight will be a little bit different. That fight kind of pushes you to the limit. I forgot I took the elevator down here. Let's see if I can scrimp some materials from these guys. Yeah, there we go. Do that. Take one more to top it off. There we go. Now we're a little bit more adequately prepared. To a degree. I'm contemplating if I should go back and level up with the blood echoes I do have, since I did just fight the cleric beast. It would help me get some more health. Thank you up there, big man. You saved me time. Ow. That hurt. Get at the right level. There we go. Back up to max files, and what was that? 19 bullets. Okay, now this is a little bit trickier because of how these guys are placed here. And that's honestly the easiest way to handle them. Get that one in the back, get this one, because he is the stronger one, essentially. But he's easier to parry than the other. And you know, you won't be able to pick it up and parry like me unless you're really prodigious. Which, you know, you might be. I'm not going to knock anybody's skill. I mean, hell, there's varying skills for varying people in varying games. But you know, it took me a long time to figure out how to get those visceral attacks and get those shots. So don't be afraid to experiment with it. Because you can get to that point. You really can. Just have a little fortitude, a little bit of resolve, and you'll be able to shoot these starter guys like it's nothing. You might have a harder time on some of the bigger bosses, but you'll find the patterns to all of the smaller enemies and the larger, more annoying ones. And in no time at all, you'll take them down. You'll get viscerals left and right. You'll get those charging back attacks from those sneaky little dog walks. Just that nice little pace. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go back to the Hunter's Dream, and we're gonna level up that health, or well, maybe the endurance. I'm still not certain on that yet. Having the health is good, but at the same time, the endurance allows the dodging, and this next boss is like Chaser Boy 33 said, he beat it his first time, but he also grinds on games a lot. He farms those enemies, he takes them down, and he levels up, and he plays really smart. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a page from him on this. We're gonna be smart about it. We're gonna do some grinding, or maybe just leveling. We may not have to. Okay, Hunter Chief. Yep, that's what you get for beating the Cleric Beast, and you unlock the Kirk Hammer, which is literally a fast, skill, damage-based silver sword that is inserted into the hammer and becomes a heavy strength-based weapon. My Vitality Strength build mains this, and the thing does a decent amount of damage. Good against certain enemies, too. This also unlocks the Repeating Pistol, which has the highest damage of any of the guns in the game I've seen for the cost of 2 bullets fired from it. Which is cool and all, but being that it shoots 2 bullets, you're not going to use it terribly often. So, does it really have anything? I do like the lantern, but we don't need that right now. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna level up. Oh, Doll's not here. She might be paying tribute at the DLC tombstone. Yep. Okay, we're gonna pump up the health, endurance. We can put 1 into strength. Let's put 1 into strength. That'll do a little bit more. That's decent. We're level 20. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, doll. You're a doll. Haha. Okay, anyways. Let's see, the Great Bridge or Central. Central would technically be closer because we're gonna go that elevator way. That'll be the quickest way. The song playing in the background is from the Cryo Chamber. Nyarlathotep. Or Nyarlathotep. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. It's the H.P. Lovecraft inspired music, and I feel it fits for a good background to the game. Once again, we're just coming through here, doing the monotonous but needed things. The biggest thing about the game is, don't think anything's trivial. Don't overlook anything that you feel like you need to go ahead and do. Because, honestly, the small things in here can make the difference. The lore might give you a hint as to how to help. It might kind of give you an up and up on what way to go. There we go. There, now we're going in with 22 Quicksilver bullets and 20 blood vials. Hopefully I'll have the chance to use a good majority of them in the fight. And that should tell you something. That's my optimism. I hope I live long enough to get hurt just enough to use my healing. Yeah, optimism. Come on, bigness. Hits it. There we go. Yeah. Atta boy. I don't think so, big guy. Dude, why do you call me a plague-ridden rat? Have you seen? Over there, that way, there are actual plague-ridden rats. Anyways, there's 3 different endings to this game. Hard to define what's really good or evil in it, being it's this kind of style, but there are some evil things you can do, and I will be discussing those and going over those for this, because you know how it goes. Evil equals power. Take out these guys. Go ahead and stun lock them with the gun there. I think they're dropping blood vials, so I should be... Yep. I should be good to max that back out, hopefully. Yeah, cool. Okay. Here we go. Now, as I said before, I might end up dying on this one. I don't know. Because this enemy is kind of a pain in the butt. So we'll find out. Yep, here we go. Scottish Father Gascon. Oh, you jerk. There we go, get parry in. Gets a decent chunk. Remember this? Reminded him of his family. That's what playing the tiny music box does. this. Ah, I don't want to trade shots with you. And now he transforms, because we've used the box 3 times. Use it again. Now it takes its effect. He screams out. And there we go. And that makes the fight incredibly easy. He only falls prey to the music box in beast mode once, and then after that he gets super angry. So that's how you beat Gascon. Now, while that fight may have seemed a little lackluster, trust me, there's importance to it. There's symbolism there. The lines from him are from a Scottish colloquy. It's really cool. Here's the tidbit about Gascon. The girl that gives us the tiny music box, of course, is the daughter. Later on, we'll see who Gascon's hunting partner was. He's called Father Gascon because he actually has 2 daughters. You use the title to say that he's still a father as a man when he was. He's not a father by the church's standards, because in the Healing Church, the title of father doesn't exist. So it's kind of a nod to him on that. Sad part is, over here is the blood trail of where he killed his wife. Agreed for your child. Yep, very true. So as you can see, he's pretty much ripped her heart out, stabbed her, killed her, whatever he did. Then he threw her up here so he wouldn't have to see her, so he wouldn't remember. So those 3 times you play the box, the first 2, you're reminding him of what he did, what he's done, and who he is. And then the 3rd time, you remind him of it that last time, and the beast blood takes over. It's too much guilt to bear. It's too much on the human part of his psyche, so he freaks out. And once he freaks out, he's gone full beast. There's just a shred of humanity left. Then you play that tune one more time, and it destroys that last shred of humanity. The guilt, the remorse, all of it's gone. There's nothing but rage and anger and thirst for the blood. So, you putting him down is a good thing that needed to happen. You know, and that's what happens to all hunters. They end up going blood drunk. We will go to his child, but we're going to activate one of those triggers I was talking about in the previous video. So we come through here, which this is an important area near the end of the game for a certain event. Come up here. Find out some books. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. It's like Bergenworth. What? A spider? What? I haven't seen any spiders. Pops up later. Blood gem workshop tool. Now we can put blood gems in our weapons. Finally, so I didn't use that, I'll keep it. Now we may open the door. Now this is the Cathedral Ward. Interesting place you revisit due to NPCs. And here is, well, presumably this man is named Carol. Don't be fooled. That guy might look crazy and he might seem shady, but he has the best intentions out of pretty much any NPC in this entire game. And he's right about the incense. All these pots and stuff, the whole big thing up there, all of it's incense that actually wards the beast off. They never come in here. So he's just laughing because he's nervous, and essentially this dude suffers from social anxiety disorder. Who doesn't nowadays, though, you know? So, here we are. We got old Carol, or Carl over there, whatever the presumed name is. We got a few different ways we can go out here. We'll get to that, though. What I was talking about is the first thing is make sure you talk to him. Make sure you get that dialogue where he tells you people can come here. Do that on any playthrough that you play. That's the first thing. Second is, when you come through these doors, those are the triggers, one of the triggers to the next event set, we'll call it. Not beating Gascon like it normally would in, say, like Dark Souls, but actually opening these doors. So, now that we've opened the doors, we'll go back to the Hunter's Dream because it's gonna be an easier way to go. And we're going to go back to Yosefka's clinic. Here's why. When we talk to Carl, or Carol, you know, I can't really make up my mind on it. I just Carlyll. It's something like that. It's presumed too. We'll say the church guy. We talk to the church guy. Church guy gives you prompts to, like, the old woman in the house that was attacked by the dog. She asked if there's anywhere safe. You can send her to the church. And there's a purpose for sending people to the church. And then there's a purpose for sending people somewhere else. And that's why we're going to the clinic. You can send people to either one. Each playthrough, you can send them to one of these areas. Let's go over this and get this out of the way, and I'll explain a little further. Notice how calm and cool and collected and just different she sounds now. So, here's the first moment of Bloodborne where things are not as they seem and are the polar opposite. Now that we've done that, actually, I'll continue on and show you guys some things, but now that we've done that, we can send them to the clinic or the chapel. If you want to see these people, if you want to save them, be the good guy, you actually send them to the chapel. If you want to be a dick and you want to be all about power, then you send them to Yosefka's clinic. What she does to the people you send there, in the end, makes you a very much more equipped hunter. But it's got an adverse effect on the people you send. Whereas in the chapel, you get to see them and talk to them and get benefits depending on who they are. Gilbert. From what my understanding is, Gilbert is human, but he contracted the beastly scourge. He contracted the disease somehow. And he came to Yarnum once he contracted it to buy time, like he said. And now the disease is taking effect on him. It's weakening him. It's presumably killing him. We will get to see the events of that story unfold over time. We will come back over there. Most of the NPCs, if not all of them, have an end-style event to their stories. Something happens with all of them. It just depends on what your hunter does at those particular times to further those events along or to end them prematurely. We're gonna go ahead and bring Rose over here, but it all ends up being in the hands of the player. You've got the power on what to do, and we're gonna take the initiative with some of that, and I'll show you the way that I like to go through it, and I'll give reasons and explanations for why I'm choosing what I'm choosing. And yes, I know it's cheesy, but we're gonna go ahead and do this because they hurt. There we go. See, they give good blood vials, but not if they take you out. So we'll run past these fellows over here. Bork, bork, bork all you want, doggo. And for the girl. Now, giving her the brooch, you don't want to actually do that. That just kind of ends her dialogue there, and it ends poorly. So what you actually want to do is attempt to send her to the clinic, or attempt to send her to the cathedral ward. Not the cathedral ward. I mean Yosefka's clinic, or... No, yeah, I was right, the cathedral ward. Yeah, the Odin Chapel. So, my bad. Anyways, if you actually send her to the cathedral ward, she doesn't make it. And it opens up a quest line where her big sister shows up, and little spoiler here. If you send her to Odin Chapel, she goes down here and she tries to take the ladder, and though you never see her physically, this little girl, she goes down the ladder and she gets eaten by that big pig. So once you get far enough and activate some triggers, you kill the pig and you get an item for your messengers, the little guys that popped up at the start of the game. Those are messengers, so if you leave a note, they're little guys holding your notes, and you can accessorize them. So when she's eaten by the pig, you kill the pig, you can't stop that, and you get the bloody messenger ribbon. And if you bring it back later to the big sister, she washes it off and makes it pretty, and then it actually drives her insane because of the time of night and the time of the game. And then she ends up actually having a corpse, and she takes the ribbon and she goes cuckoo and goes down there, and that thing kills her. And you can see the body of the daughter down there, and she'll have the white ribbon. So, you know, you can get one or the other, or get, I think, both in a playthrough if you do it right. But anyways, it's an accessory thing. We get more from it if we send her to the clinic, and because this is my evil character we're running, we're sending everybody to the clinic. think I should tell you about the clinic. It's like, oh, huh. You're gonna die, little girl. So, you don't give her the brooch, because it also gives you a droplet gem. A woman's bright red brooch engraved with the name Viola, the mom. Perhaps the jewel is a gift from a hunter, Gascon, used to change into a droplet blood gem that fortifies any weapon. With the proper workshop tool, various weapons can be fortified. So we take it, and we... bink. Red blood gem. Very awesome enhancement gem right there. So, we've got that. And if you go over here to the time music box, small music box received from the young Yarnum girl plays a song shared by the mother and father. Inside the lid is a small scrap of paper, perhaps an old message. Two names can be made out, however, faintly, Viola and Gascon. Now, the little girl mentions her granddad. At first, you might take that as, okay, so her grandpa's in the picture. It's a thing that it's, you know, you analyze it and you go, why would that matter? Well, that is, once again, this is, you know, presumptuous, it is, but this is what the community has put together. The granddad is Gascon's partner. It only makes sense. So, you know, if you kind of look into the lore of it, it would make sense that she talks about mom and dad and granddad because granddad would be with dad. And people suspect that it's Henrik, who we'll end up seeing him soon enough, honestly. It's presumed that Henrik was Viola's father, and he's an old school, really, you know, BA hunter. You know, I mean, he's a partner with Gascon. You've seen Gascon is pretty huge. Henrik's got to have some skill, you know, got to keep up with that. So Henrik's a unification kind of hunter. He's a hunter that works for the workshop, old school. And then he unified with Gascon, you know, and they put the differences of them being two different class of hunters. They put that aside, and yeah, I think this way will be a little bit quicker. They put that aside, and they became partners. And it even tells you about Henrik that his partnership with Gascon, them being so good, led to Henrik having a tragically long life. So what it's kind of implying is that Viola's dead, Gascon is dead. The little girl, no matter what way you do it, she ends up dead. She dies. So in the end, Henrik pretty much outlives his whole family. So, you know, kind of a sad thing. And we'll end up seeing him, and he's a very unique hunter. He hunts dark beasts, which are beasts that are coated in thunder and lightning and electricity. So they're fun. And it's very resistant to that bolt, to that lightning. So good armor against a particular boss named Parl. Okay, probably wondering why I'm back here. Shabuski! Lady. Okay, so if you send her to the chapel, later on she goes a little cuckoo and she gives you a constant amount of a certain item that is pretty awesome, and then ends up dead for it. What we're gonna do instead is send her to the clinic. Okay, crazy cantankerous old lady, you got it. I believe that's it for now. There's nothing else really for us here. You can knock on all those doors, but the only people that really matter are the daughter, that old lady, and daughter of the old lady, and Gilbert. This guy up here. So, as you go through more bosses and go through more triggers, you can check in on Gilbert and kind of see the progression of his beasthood, I guess you would say. So, we've grabbed everything. We've cleared the first area. Nothing really waiting for us there anymore. So now we can go ahead and we can head onward. As you can see, I've got some decent insight up. So we'll go over here. This is your insight fountain, where you purchase things using insight. And see, that's to help hunters. I'll go ahead and get that for friends. That's an invasion thing. Don't need that. Then we got Gascon's armor. It's good in certain areas. Got a nice look to it. One of the things a lot of people like. So, now let's see here. I'll go ahead and buy this too. That way I've got it. I don't mind spending the blood echoes. I'm gonna be getting more. And this is usually what I do here. Okay. We'll repair our things. So I do want to level, but I make leveling as a priority usually the last thing. I try and get the items and whatnot that I need first. Alright, let's build up strength. See, I'm not certain on what I'm going to be just yet. Yeah, we'll bring up the strength. We'll do a little bit more damage. I'm still in early enough levels that I can decide what I'm going to use. With the character that I'm using, I might go kind of like what I did with Cog Baron. I might go towards more mechanical and gunsmanship. And as I said before, I have different main weapons and secondary weapons on characters. Cog Baron uses the whirligig saw, and it's a special mace. It's the bloodletter. So they're DLC weapons. And then, you know, a cannon. So I've got that. I don't have anyone that mains the wagon wheel, or mains the hunter axe, or the saw spear, the saw cleaver, the rifle spear. I don't have any of those mained. But I do have some options on things I like. One of them's the Tonitrus, and we'll end up getting into that. So I'm thinking I might make him build off that for a while, and maybe get a secondary weapon depending on how that's built. I call these guys ghoulies because they look like it. They're the church hunters, but albeit they're tainted. But they're little ghost-faced ghoulie guys, and for some reason they just remind me of Scooby-Doo. I don't know why, they just do. Like, they seem like something straight off Scooby-Doo. So that area up there is closed off, and what you can do to open up this area, because right now you can't even get any help here, what you can do is you can buy that 10,000 Blood Echo Hunter emblem. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to defeat another boss and show you a way to get around needing the emblem. It's overall more work, and you'll probably get enough Blood Echoes in that time to buy the emblem, but it's more items, and it just feels like it's the way it was supposed to be done. So we'll get that. There is a thing up there. We can't see it right now, but if we had the insight, we would. And it tries to snatch you up and will hurt you. It can kill you. So just walk back over here. See, there it is. See, something was there. So let's come this way.
Ow. Yep, that hurt.
Ooh. There we go. Just to show that with that guy, you gotta just kind of dodge around him. Gate's up over there. We've got big guy there, and this big dude over here. There he comes. Guess I don't need that. Sure, we'll do one more. Another thing is, depending on how you dispatch an enemy, that will affect the blood echoes you get. Normally, when you do a visceral attack to end an enemy, you'll get more blood echoes than if you, say, do a power attack or a light attack or something like that. Freaking birds. A monocular, which the monocle here, you put it on and it actually shows on your character, and you know, so they'll be walking around with a monocle over their eye, just chilling there, and it actually allows you to kind of aim. So if you have a gun that uses bullets instead of the spray like mine, you can use that to aim it, say in PvP or at other bosses and things like that. So here we got one of these things, which these guys drop bloodstone shards, your weapon upgrading minerals, and that's a special church guy, this big old ball and chain. So here's one of the things that was like sad. Where is it? Serious things. No, it's where's she on time for visit? Yeah. So here's what sucks. That door is actually the door that's next to the boss, the cleric beast. That door was supposed to be opened from this side, and then boom, you're from the cathedral ward right back to Yharnam. That's what that was supposed to be, but for some reason it either got taken out, or in the end game the developers forgot about it, or they just didn't have the time. I'm not certain what the true purpose is, but there are people that have videos up and have access to it, and you know, woo, yeah, I'll fight you later. They do show, you know, because there's the bridge, the cleric beast, but see, they do show that it's not even an actual door. It's just like a painted on piece of wall that looks like a door. It never truly had the function, but it did in like a demo. So that's one of the things that, you know, had a lot of speculation and stuff behind it, but it really wasn't too big of a thing. People were like, is that where you come in from as a hunter? Is it DLC? No, it was a shortcut that didn't make it into the game, that's all. So now what we're doing is we're going down to another one of the kind of optional areas, and of course we're going to get items all along the way, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to have a wonderful time. There we go. Got to get some reach. Here's where things get a little tricky. We have two doggos and a man with a gun. Yep, just kind of kite them, you know, lead them down there out of his gun range. And then run up and slice him down. So now we go through here, and we find an NPC ally that inevitably, eventually, leads us to one of the kind of guild-style markings in the game. It's an interesting thing. Has the marking of a hunter on his chest. Always cooperate with him. Thank you, Alfred. And see, this dude's actually, like, he's pretty cool. He's pretty legit. He even says oodles. Okay, yeah, so it's just the one thing. Thank you, Alfred. So, there's that. There's him. Like I said, Alfred's a pretty cool guy. We take this mechanism here, and whoop, move the sarcophagus. Come down here, there's one guy just chilling over here by the wall. And it's knowledge from a cleric that was taken out. We have another werewolf. Just be prepared for that. And there we go. Wee! Ah! Oh yeah, you can't slide down the ladder. So over here, boop. Antidotes for poison. There's one area in the game where you need to use a lot of those, reoccurring in all Souls games. They always have some sort of poison, liquids, or swamp. Go. Let me wipe this. And we've made it to Old Yarnum, the one that was mentioned before in that house on the bottom floor in Yarnum. They burned this place to the ground. This town is long abandoned. Hunters not wanted here. So, you know, you do what every hero does. You just ignore the posted warning. See, that's coming from a dude named, I think, Durja? Jura? You'll see later. We'll get his armor and his stuff, but it's an old school hunter way over there with a mounted Gatling gun, and I'm assuming some sort of device to project his voice this far along. I doubt he's just screaming. So, he's over there on top of that clock tower. Meanwhile, here we are. In this place that's, well, as you can see, burning. Has been burned. Still a little smoky. We have one of these things over here. You want to try and catch that before it runs off from you. Drop down here. We got these fellas over here. Some little beasts. Oh, yep, there he is. There we go. And then boom. Hunter's torch. This torch, unlike the other one, you can actually upgrade. And does a little bit more damage if you, decide to stab people with it. Shortcut. There we go. So, we'll get an item up here, and then boom. That swings us back around to the start of the area. So, as you can see, that's essentially the way to Old Yarnum. And, was Gascon talking about those beasts all over the shop. And the cleric beast. So, yeah. We're ready to start going through this area. It is a bit tricky, and, it is annoying to try and navigate through some of it because a lot of it's dodging him, and you'll see that. But I'm not gonna say too much about it, just that we'll have a lot of fun the next time. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go inspect some of my things at the Hunter's Dream, and I'm going to maybe level up once or twice and continue this in the next video. Be it a little bit later on, be it directly after this, be it another day, but I will make sure to keep continuing on this journey. So, until then, remember, keep gaming and fear the old blood.